Welcome to Happy Hour Holidaze with your host, Manny Fresh. And we got Sean Fabre over here on the side and our special guest, Brittany Galvin, your go-to podcast for business, entrepreneurship, and life stories. Brittany, how did you get into your whole entrepreneurship, starting from where you started to where you are now, which is a successful businesswoman?
I love the Manny Fresh. You got me over here still chuckling. It honestly started when I was really young. Even people who hear this probably in our town, they know me and they'll be hearing this, and this is some of the stuff they've heard for the first time. But I was 16 years old when I graduated high school. I've born and raised in Tampa, and when I was in high school, I actually got caught doing a keg stand in my cheerleading uniform and got kicked off the cheerleading squad. And so my mother came into the school, met with the principal, and said, well, I'm going to make her go and homeschool then. That was like my punishment. So I homeschooled, but the benefit out of it was I didn't have summers. I didn't have, like Christmas breaks, nothing. I just went to school full time, and I graduated at 16. 9/11 then came. I went into the military. I signed up. I said, I want to blow some shit up. I want to fight back. So I joined with 3 of my cousins at the same time and went into the military. That didn't work out. I ended up leaving, and I was injured. So gotcha. I had some herniations in my back. So they kicked me out medically, honorable discharge. So after that, I put myself through college working at Hooters. I wasn't able to use the bill from the military because I didn't complete. I was only in 18 months. So because I didn't complete it, I had to pay for college at that point. I had already, foregone my scholarship that I earned. So I put myself through college for forensic psychology, and while I was waiting tables, I met my then husband at the time, and I was so funny because I would never give my phone number to anyone. I was just like a hustler. I was just there to make money. I knew I was wearing short shorts and my tits were sticking out, and I was like, okay, I can make a ton of money. I was making $1,000 a night, whatever. Yeah, it was a ton of money. Because I was a hustler. Everyone else just wanted to sit and talk, and I was like, where's my next table? I would send all the girls home and just take all the tables. But this guy comes in, and I hate saying this because if he ever hears it, he wasn't attractive. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was young, and
He was charming. He was charming.
I don't know.
Or he had money, right?
I don't know if it was that or if I thought he had money or if it was just like he had a goatee and I thought he had money. I was totally judging. But I ended up giving him my number, and a few months later, I was pregnant.
Oh, shit.
So at 20 years old, I got pregnant. And, we dated for a little bit, and then I got pregnant. Yeah. But it wasn't like the normal type relationship. The only reason I kind of go into this is because that's really how my life started. I was like, I had to be like a survivor very early on. He wasn't what I thought he was all cracked up to be. He ended up being, mortgage broker who never worked. So I consistently had to make money for myself and this kid that was growing inside of me. And so I wasn't able to finish college. I actually never finished college. So at this point, I'm trying everything. I'm hustling. I tried the military, it didn't work out. I tried, college, it didn't work out. And so I'm still sitting at Hooters pregnant, and this business owner comes in. Her name was Tracy Donovan. She owns Bravo Media out of Manhattan. Oh. And I had no idea who she was I just knew she was really pretty, and she was from New York City. And she was like, why are you doing this? Do you want a real job? And I was like, why would you offer me, of all people, a real job? Like a real job, in quotes. And she's like, well, you're hustling. You're the only one around here working, and you've upsold me on everything. I'm like, it's fucking Hooters, man. What? And she's like, no, there's something about you. So I was like, why not? I drove. It was in Bayshore, in Tampa, where they have all the houses there. So you don't really know that they're businesses, because back then, this was almost 20 years ago. Back then, you didn't know that they were businesses. They were just houses. So I walked in, I'm like, she's trying to make me strip or something. She's going to turn me into like a hooker. But it wasn't. She had tables kind of set up like this, like in a little room. And they were just selling media, like direct media to car dealerships and to rappers and singers and, different organizations. And that's what started my sales life, like my true sales life. That was the first job I ever had in regards to sales, and it was 100% commission. I went through my whole pregnancy. I gave birth, and I supported myself, this kid, and my husband at the time. I was making $100,000 plus the first year.
That's
at 20, right?
Yeah.
Back then, that was a lot, man. You're talking about $100,000 at when, man. That's
And it was more than that. I think the first year I made like 110, 120.
That's straight up motivation because when you have zero salary, I mean, you either sell or you don't eat.
Yeah. And we didn't have insurance. We didn't have anything. I mean, a lot of people don't know this either about me. We had to go on Medicaid. Like I was on Medicaid for a long time, and we didn't get married at first because of that. But once we did get married, I kind of forced the guy to marry me. And once we got married, I didn't have any insurance anymore. So it was make the money or nothing at all. And I'm not the type that wants to live, nothing against that lifestyle, but I'm not the type that wants to live in a trailer, wondering if I have $10 to buy baby food. No, I want the freaking Mercedes Benz, and I'm not going to make somebody else buy it for me. So from that point forward, I hustled, and I did that for a few years. I think it was like 2 years, to be exact. And one of my girlfriends was like, "You are the most badass salesperson I've ever seen." I'm like, I don't understand why people keep saying this. I'm just me. I'm just very aggressive, and I'm very real. I just say what I think. I think people appreciate that about me.
Always.
So she said, "You need to, apply for payroll." And I was like a payroll sales job. And I was like, selling payroll? Like, I've been selling direct mail. I don't really know anything about payroll. She's like, just apply. You don't know anything about it, just apply. So I applied for like ADP, if you've heard of that company.
Yeah.
I applied for a company called SOI, Paychecks, and I didn't know on all the applications it says you need all this experience. And I'm like, I'm young, but I'm making more than $100,000, 100% commission. They got to like one or the other. So I did the interviews for all of them. They all hired me, but I took the job with SOI. They were the smallest company at the time. I walked in. They're actually what you call a PEO, so it's not just payroll. It's like benefits, workers' comp. It's actually what I do now. I've been doing it now for almost 20 years.
I can't believe you have done it so long. I didn't know you jumped in that early.
I did, and I started winning all these awards my first year. Throughout, I've traveled all over the world from it. I've never made less than $200,000 since. And it's not 100% commission anymore. Now I've earned, almost 20 years later, I've earned myself a high salary at this point, but I'm still making a lot of the commission. So that's really where the sales side of me started. I think it was just like a life of having to survive.
Yeah.
It just like built this thing inside of me where I was like, I have to hustle or I get nothing.
What's the most you've ever made in a year? If you don't mind sharing.
550,000.
550. Mm-hmm. No shit, selling payroll.
Selling fucking payroll.
So for all you listeners out there, if you hustle, 500.
Yeah. I mean, it's really not hard to do. There are a lot of
So
people
that
making
year,
millions.
that year you made the 550,000. What specifically were you doing in order to garner that kind of compensation from the company? Were you just selling to high ticket clients or?
No. So it's the PEO world is like small to medium sized businesses. I mean, I'm pretty sure like your company uses a PEO. We've talked about this before.
Heartland, I think. Is it Heartland?
Or you
it's
used to
Heartland.
use a PEO because I talked to you about it a long time ago, I thought. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. But PEO is like small, medium-sized businesses, and we come to them, they leverage the buying power of a large group instead of a small group. So if you have 50 employees, I've got 20,000 employees under my federal ID number. I go to the carriers with 20,000 or 50,000 people. You're going to the carrier for 50 employees. So every size business needs it. When I made that much money and when I do make that much money, ongoing, it's not so much high ticket clients. It's just more and more clients, more people who need help, more people who can't, find help on their own. Their health insurance agents don't have access to anything we have access to. So it's like our own policies.
You said ongoing, right? So that means that it's reoccurring commission is also what you're earning?
Yeah, I'm not making that much anymore on that particular because,
Like,
we'll get to that part of the story, but stuff went downhill for a little bit, but it's back up now.
So then that's actually an option when you work for PEO. You can have certain clientele that use the company over and over again, and they pay you reoccurring commission year over year, or is it month over month? I'm not sure how that works.
So the way it works, it's month over month. In the PEO world, you bring on a client. Let's use that 50-person client, for example. You are a business owner. You don't like being told what you do wrong, right? It doesn't matter if you're doing wrong. You don't like being told what you're doing wrong. I'm going to come in and I'm going to analyze all of your paperwork, all of your policies, everything that you have, all of your employee benefits. And I'm going to tell you, no matter what you think, if I see something wrong, I'm going to tell you what's wrong. And not necessarily wrong like you've done something bad, but that you could do better. that you could save more money or you could do this. So when you're doing that and you bring a client on, they're not going to leave you the next year. Odds are, knock on wood, usually they're staying an average of 5 to 7 years with that particular company. So then they'll have another salesperson from another PEO who will come and try to sell them 7 years down the road. So most of your clients are staying with you, for a long period of time.
Okay, cool.
And you're getting paid monthly. Every time they run payroll, you get paid.
So it's strictly payroll and benefits is what you're saying.
Payroll, benefits, workers' comp, HR.
So also insurance.
Yeah, transfer of liability because you're on my federal ID number now instead of yours.
Are you guys subcontracting out the insurance or is that straight through? What company is this with?
So I work for one now called Applied, but I started my life with a company called SOI.
I'm curious, when you leave SOI, yet you provided them with those clients, you don't get compensated once you leave, correct?
Some people do. I didn't. You have to arrange that contract in the very beginning. It's very rare that you'll get that contract.
The ones that are making over $1 million a year, because you said some of them make over $1 million.
They're getting that contract.
They're getting that contract, yeah.
That's why they're making $1 million a year.
They're just going from one company to the next saying, yo, roll this shit over. I got them. I'm making you money. So why the hell do I not get compensated for that? I'm assuming that's the way it goes. Maybe more professional manner is the way it's negotiated, but that's probably exactly the way it goes.
Yeah, the caveat would be you can't take them. You have a non-compete. So,
well, if you got to not compete, then you can't go to another company, right?
You can because
just
it's such
not
a
take
small
the clients.
niche. So if that ended up in court, there's no judge that's going to say you can't let her work. I mean, at this point, I've been doing it for almost 20 years. I don't know another, industry. We went back to the fact that I don't have a college degree. So do you think a judge is going to tell a company that I can't go get a job at another PEO? No, they're going to say, they're going to hold me to you can't take your clients that you sold. So actually, I switched companies recently, which we'll get to, but about a year ago, my non-compete is up on the 17th of this month. I'm going hell or high water after all my clients.
Fuck yeah.
All my clients.
Hell yeah.
They're coming. They're coming home.
And you built relationships with them.
Yeah.
So they like Brittany. That's who they like. They don't like whoever, their new, what would you call it? Account executive is or that they get transferred over to?
Yeah, they're representative or account executive.
What's the job title?
You're exactly right. I mean, I'm a professional employer consultant.
Okay.
So, that's what pretty much they call them PECs in our industry. But that's exactly the thing. You're right. They're not buying from the company. They are in a sense because they want to know how long has the company been open. Are they CPEO certified, which means has the IRS certified them? Or they want to know all these things, but they really are buying from me. They really know me. They want to know what kind of person I am. They ask about my husband, my kids. You get to know each other. You send birthday cards. I mean, I make cupcakes for people.
You're building rapport.
You build a relationship for sure.
This is like what, Sales 101, right? How long does it take you from meeting this? Is it a cold lead or are these leads provided to you? Or are you out there actively searching for these leads? And then how long does it take you to close them? What's like the gap from start to finish? Is it a couple months? Could it be years?
It can be years for sure. I have some that have taken me years to sell. Years. I mean, there's a company called Fiberglass Coatings, if you're listening to this, out in St. Pete that I still have not sold, and I'm 18 years in. So, but one day, I mean, that man who owns that company is going to call me. I just know it. He knows me. But it doesn't normally take that long. The sales cycle is normally 60 to 90 days. From the day that I meet you as a business owner and I come in, we have what we call like a first meeting. So you come in, you get to know each other. The goal is to get to know the organization, ask you questions, probe any issues that you have. 90% of the people say, I don't have any issues. It's not that they're lying. They just don't recognize that they have issues, or they're so far removed from the process because business owners don't typically deal with employee-related issues. They hire an HR person. Yeah. Well, HR people are very protective, so they don't normally tell the business owner when there's something that comes up. They usually just tell people like me, no. I skip the HR person. I go directly to the business owner. So the first time we sit down there's usually like a wall up. There's usually, somebody telling me, I have no issues. You have to deal with Shauna. Oh. And I'm like, well, no offense, but I don't want to deal with Shauna. Shauna doesn't sign my paycheck. She's not the one seeing all of the financial things behind the scenes. So once you have that first meeting and you figure stuff out, you collect, documents and data. I'll ask you for a bunch of stuff. It's annoying, but it's the only way I can do a proper analysis. Where people go wrong in my industry is they're like, oh, just give me a payroll report. I'll shoot you a proposal. I'll give you some numbers. It is about numbers, but at the same time, you're not going to find deep numbers unless you ask for all the data.
What are you asking for?
401ks, this is just an example. I'm asking for a bunch of stuff, and I'll tell you, but like one of the hidden things that people don't ask for is like a 401k adoption agreement and an enrollment report. There are so many fees hidden behind PEO 401ks and people who don't use a PEO that, I mean, I just did one and it was like a 9-person company. I saved them $4,000 on their 401k on that part of it alone. Just on that little piece. Nobody else, none of the other reps even asked for
Are you asking them for gross revenue or anything like that?
I'm not asking for revenue. I'm asking for a payroll report from January until now so I can see taxes, how much you've paid in, what your turnover is. It's better even if I can get a year-to-date report. I'm asking for current benefits, your renewal, what your history has been. Are there any issues going on that you know about? There's always a story to the back of a company. You know, if you've had like historically like 20, 30, 40% renewals, there's a reason. You have something going on in the company. If it's the business owner that's having medical issues, I can move the business owner onto their own plan, and your company just got a lot richer. You know, there's little plans and things like that I've learned over time that the normal rep doesn't just come in and ask.
So the goal of a PEO firm is to save the business money.
Yes, and cash flow, improve cash flow.
But also get their books in the right order, because
Right.
because a lot of them think they're doing the right thing, but it's not like she's coming in and telling them, hey, you're doing it wrong. It's just you can do it better.
Right. It's just a different process. It's a way to do things that mitigates your risk as a business owner. You know, the last thing you need is somebody suing you. I had a client once as a doctor over in Carrollwood, and he's probably had 60 or 70 employees, and he had this employee that was constantly giving too much Botox. So it was a dermatologist.
That's not covered, is it?
She would constantly give too much. Well, it wouldn't have been, but he came in and fired her on the spot, screamed and yelled in front of like the patient and everything, got rid of her. Well, what do you think she did?
Sued him.
Well, she didn't just sue him. She got an attorney to contact every single employee in the company.
Prior employees,
Employees, current employees, and now you have a class action on your hands.
Jesus Christ.
So that kind of thing is protected from a PEO, because we would have told him it's not that you can't fire. You could fire if you want, but hold the fucking phone, call us, and we'll tell you how to fire her so you don't get sued. You can get that done with an HR person too, but it's just an HR person. They don't have lawyers behind them. It's not a $1 billion company supporting you. It's not, that your HR person's name is not on your insurance policy. Ours is. So there's a big difference.
So does that mean you got sued, or the company that you were with also got sued? Yeah.
When he gets sued, we get sued. So, but then it's our
So
attorneys
y'all weren't
fighting
too
it.
happy though then?
No.
No. It's like, bro,
No.
what the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
You could have let her go quietly.
The way he fired her.
You fucking suck. You get too much Botox and you're ugly anyways.
Yeah.
It's like,
That
what
was
the
a bad
fuck?
situation.
So going back to it.
Oh, we
Brittany-
only got a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, when we get back, we'll ask Brittany what kept her in this industry and not going to maybe pharmaceutical sales or anything else. We'll be
Okay.
right back.
Like, comment, subscribe.
All right, and we're back with Happy Hour Holidaze with our guest, Brittany Galvin. And Brittany, what kept you in that industry? Because you're such a good salesperson. I mean, it didn't matter what
money.
But you got to think about all the other sales positions that, I mean, this one is definitely, up there. But I mean, did you ever think about maybe after 5 or 10 years going to a different one? Or were you just like, I really like this industry. I really like what it's about. I like helping small businesses. This is for me.
So that is what I thought. The money, obviously, but I actually enjoyed the job.
Yeah.
I enjoyed going in and, helping a company that had 100 employees and saving them $50,000. That to me is like very rewarding. I imagine it's something similar when a doctor, has a patient that they no longer have cancer. It's like the same thing. You helped, right?
Yeah.
I have thought about other industries. And, people talk all the time about, like, medical sales and
Yeah,
this,
pharmaceutical.
But I started so young.
Yeah.
I started so young in this industry that I don't really know. So this isn't my excuse now, but you're asking what kept me in prior. Comfortability.
Yeah.
Really that.
Stability, right? Because, you had a lot going on. You had kids, husband.
I got divorced.
Yeah.
I had a house
that didn't
burned down.
work.
I had a lot of shit happen that I was like, I have to keep going.
Yeah.
I eventually divorced the the guy that was not around. Like I said, had
The
2
bum?
kids at that time. The bum. Yeah, unfortunately, he's remarried now. I'm not going to get too much because they're local, but he's remarried now, and she's a dentist. She's like doing so well for herself.
Damn, actually, he's smart.
Dude,
he just keeps marrying women that make
so
money.
Smart, and he's her office manager.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm like, oh my god, I don't know.
Can I marry you and get a job?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So-
yeah, just go answer the phone.
Yeah. Yeah. So stability. But after doing it for so long, I left. So I started with a company called SOI, and a company called TriNet bought them out. They're a public company. And when they bought out SOI, we had built SOI pretty much from nothing to, I think, about 150,000 worksite employees we had when we sold. So I made a chunk of money on that because I had options in the company. So then I was like, well, I'm definitely not leaving now because now I'm like high up in the new company. Everyone always knows, back then it was Brittany Long, my maiden name. Brittany Long, like my name was well known. It was recognition. It was nice. It was fun. But not only that, I created a lot of relationships with the brokers. So going back to like how the whole PEO thing works, if I were to call you and you're a business owner and you're like, I have a broker that I go through, I can work with the broker, and the person who pays the broker is me. So it doesn't hurt you, and it benefits them to work with me because they don't have access to what I have. Okay. So in essence, they'd be doing you a favor by bringing you a PEO option plus your renewal, because then you can see both and you're not going to shop on your own. Gotcha. If brokers out there continue to be so protective of their clients and they're not like showing the PEO option, people like me are going to come in and eventually I'm going to sweep in. So working with me is the best thing they can do. So I decided, why would I work harder? I'm going to work smarter. I'm going to fucking introduce myself to every broker out there. And that's what I did. So that's the year that I made $550,000. I was like, okay, this year I'm working with brokers who are going to bring me 30 clients each to propose to, instead of me cold calling out of a yellow book page. Back then I had a library card, and I would go to the library and I would look up companies in the library. And that's
What year are we talking about here?
I mean, I've been doing this 18 years.
Yeah, you
so.
said library card, man.
Yeah.
I mean, a library card, that's like high school shit almost.
Have you been to a library lately? The
Not
book
lately.
smells so good.
I have not lately. No.
Nobody's using them. That's probably why.
because you can just go on the internet and get whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, I do use Zoom Info now.
What's that called?
Zoom Info?
Zoom Info.
That's what I use now. It's just like the library.
Is it like Zoom, like the company Zoom? Or
No, it's
Zoom
different.
Info is
It's
totally.
different.
Oh, it's okay.
Zoominfo.com. Yeah, you have to pay for it, but really, really good resource.
It's probably not that expensive either, right?
No, and it gives like the business owner's cell phone name and your cell phone number, emails, like everything. It's not always accurate, but
Shit, I wonder.
It's close enough.
Ours are
Close
on
enough.
there.
Yeah, we saw it on there. I say,
it?
yeah, I've looked at Zoom Info on some other businesses. So, I mean, Brittany was such a damn hustler. Now she even started her own business on the side, and it's CBD oils.
yeah.
I mean, there you go. So you can see what it is. How did you get into this, Brittany?
This is your own business,
Well,
right?
I have ownership in it. It's not my own business.
Yeah, I know, but I
So
mean,
What's it called? Nuvita?
yeah, Nuvita.
Nuvita.
Yeah, it's a CBD company. So that's a long story. So kind of fast forwarding through like all the PEO stuff, I ended up leaving TriNet just to kind of get into that.
Yeah.
And moved over to a company called Engage. Well, that company I stayed with, I think like 6 or 7 years, almost 7 years. And then the pandemic came and they forced us all to get the vaccine. And that like almost killed me. And I'm still suffering from it. And so I think everything in me, all that stability, all of that, comfortability changed for me. It was there no longer. So I kind of, not overnight, well, I guess I would say it's overnight. I had to call 911 and go to a hospital. So yeah, it was overnight. But my life just changed and my priorities changed and my views on healthcare changed. Everything changed for me. And this cannabis company reached out to me, the owner, the founder, and she was like, I think I can help you. And it wasn't about financials at that point. It was about helping me physically because I actually was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré, which is paralyzation. It's when you're, it's an autoimmune response to a vaccine, typically, or virus. And it's when your nervous system is attacked by your autoimmune system.
Oh, shit.
And it will kill you if you don't stop it. So I had gone through like 4 different hospitals. I was the only vaccine injured person out there at the time that I knew. I started speaking up. I started filming myself on Instagram. I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die, and like nobody believed me. Even my husband, Brock, like it wasn't that he didn't believe me. He was just like, okay, tons of people have gotten this vaccine. Like, how are you the only person speaking out. Well, the truth is I wasn't the only person. I was just the only person speaking out at the time.
Everybody was scared too.
Everybody was scared. Everybody was censored. I mean, they called the police on me in the hospital.
Oh my God.
The hospital called the police on me for filming myself because one of the nurses saw herself on one of my films.
And a lot of your posts had the
censorship.
Yeah. Where you had to click to see post.
Oh, yeah. And they deleted me. They deleted my Instagram twice. This is my third Instagram. I got banned on Linktree, which is a linking system. You just use it for links. And I was doing my job at the time of all this. I mean, I got this vaccine because of my job. And I had told them how scared I was. I told them I didn't want it. I had autoimmune disease. I had rheumatoid arthritis. And I was in remission, and I had had a car accident recently. So I was like, I don't want my body to flip out.
Yeah.
And there was no option. To get back to work, to keep making my hundreds of thousands of dollars and all my relationships, I needed to not be paralyzed. And I needed to not like go through all this. And so I had to get the second one. Got the second one.
Oh, shit.
So this is Pfizer, right? This
no, Moderna.
Oh, Moderna. That was the one that I've heard.
That's RNA.
Yeah, well, they're essentially the same.
They're all the same.
They're all the same. But when it all happened to me, this company reached out to me, and she was just like, I think I could help you. And I started taking it. And it ended up being, I went from being on 13 medications to only, like, quitting everything, including Adderall. Yeah. I realized I had been addicted to Adderall for, like, 20 years, and I didn't even realize it until cannabis.
Yeah. Adderall's fun, though.
It can be fun, but...
Well, it's not really the fun. I think it's just like, it makes you like, it's like almost like taking a Limitless pill.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, it made you work. It probably has something to do with how I hustled so much.
I would say so.
But I hustle the same now, and I'm not on it.
Yeah.
But I started taking it, and I was just like, I reached out to her, and I was like, this stuff is like magic. Like, what I kind of was forced to not be on my medications because I didn't know what was wrong with me at the time. You know, still here we are almost 3 years later, and I'm still getting diagnosed with things. But being on the CBD and the cannabis and seeing what it did for my body, I was just like, this is crazy. How can I get involved in this? So she created like an affiliate plan, I guess, for people. And I was like the top first leader in the company. And so I have ownership in it, and I run my own part of the business now, and I'm making well beyond six figures just in this company alone. So now when you ask the question, do you think that you'll ever
leave the industry, right?
Leave the industry. I mean, I don't know, because
it's a possibility.
There's a possibility. Yeah. There's always, and if I hustled as much as I do on my PEO job with this or something like this, then I could do even better. So I'll tell you, to be honest, where my mind really goes is, why can't I completely own my own business?
That's what I was thinking.
So my husband and I are in the process of a prototype. I don't want to say too much, but we have one being built right now.
Brock, you didn't tell us this.
And it's in the health and wellness industry. It's something that's helped me quite a bit. I use it every single day. It's part of my healing journey. So I plan on, putting as much as I do into cannabis into this new thing.
Is it physical therapy apparatus, or?
It's not physical therapy. I mean, it's not like physical
Without saying
therapy.
too much, I'm just wondering.
It's not like physical therapy.
No. But like those roller balls that people... the columns that they put on their back?
No, this is a high ticket item.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, this is going to be a couple grand at least.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, each sale. But it is something that you'll use forever. It's like having a hot tub.
Yeah, okay.
That's a poor analogy, man.
No, it's not.
No. Hot tubs?
Not if you knew what it is.
How about a pool?
As in, like, you're not going to get rid of it until you're really done with it. Mm-hmm. That's my point.
Gotcha.
And it's been working out so far, right? Because you said you're in the middle of making a prototype. Yeah. Is the prototype complete? Are you guys going through?
No, we're going back and forth.
Have you guys gone through patent pending or anything like that? No.
Not yet. We're in the beginning stages.
And you guys probably had to hire an engineer or something like that, I'd assume.
Yeah, we're going through all of that right now.
Damn, bro. So. I did not know that.
Yep.
Now I really want to know what it is.
Well, you'll know soon enough. I would say in the next... I've kind of hinted on my social media, but I'd say in the next 3 months, we should have some concrete stuff going on. So my goal is to create what I have done for other people, for myself, and then have other people hustle for me.
Yeah, of course.
That's my goal.
Yeah, because you've been in sales. Now you want to build your sales team.
Right.
With your own company, with you and your husband, and just crush it, right?
And I think that's the biggest thing, too, or one of the biggest things that have come out of this for me, is that I could teach anybody how to sell. But one day I'm going to be 90 years old and not wanting to sell anymore, but I can still teach you how to sell.
Yeah.
Damn, you want to be
You know?
90 years old still working?
I mean, if I'm still making that kind of money.
Yeah, fuck it. Generational wealth.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
kids ain't going to have to work no more.
I'm going to make their little asses work. What are you talking
Good.
about? Hiding all the
Good.
money from them until
Hell
they're married
yeah.
with kids.
And then you'll just donate it all to charity. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. You
Yeah.
didn't get shit.
Yeah, well, that's what my parents do. So my dad makes, well, he does well off for himself.
What does your dad do?
So he worked for Duke Energy for over 30 years, and now he, manages another company like that. So he doesn't own his own company, but he does really well for himself. He became a welder when he was 16, 17.
Oh, wow.
So he's just done that his whole life. But my parents own a couple of businesses. They own an underground construction company here out of Lutz.
Underground?
Yeah.
Like
did I say underground construction?
like boring company?
Underground utility.
Oh, yeah, boring company, right? Where they bore the...
It's like the environmental stuff. Like if you
geotech.
if you have a leak or something, you know how they always have the St. Pete, the pipes burst. And
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's all like the underground engineering and all that stuff.
gotcha.
Of it all.
Yeah.
So they own one of those. It's called QRC, and they actually have done that. We grew up shopping at Walmart. Like there was no
Frugality.
You're getting money. You're not deserving of anything. And I'm pretty sure when they die, I'm getting like $10,000. It doesn't even matter to me, and I hate even saying that because their money is not what I want, But I wasn't raised to think that I deserve something. I was raised to earn it on your own, and I think that that's really.
And that's really how our parents raised us too. It's like, yo, as soon as we turn 15, you got to go to work.
And look at you guys hustling and doing amazing.
We're doing okay. We're doing okay.
Hey, but I'll tell you something. This generation doesn't know anything about fucking hustling.
bro.
They
And
don't. They really don't.
And actually, it's a funny story. We went to Fox Hollow yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And one of the ladies was talking to her son through her whatever, and through her smartwatch. And she's like, yeah, he doesn't work. He's in 12th grade. Yeah, he's playing a lot of sports, but I don't make him work, and I have to give him money. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ,
hell
bro.
no.
Yeah.
It's like 12th grade, right? So that means you're 18 years old. Bro, it's a coddling generation is what it is. What do they say? They say, God, I don't know what the fuck they say.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I think parents now, they just don't want them to veer off the wrong,
They're not going
path.
to, though, if they're busy working.
I know, exactly. I mean,
Boom.
I mean,
They're going to if they're, getting into trouble at Taco Bell on a
Yeah,
Friday night.
yeah.
Like, I don't know if they go to Taco
I did
Bell.
that.
I don't know.
I did that.
No, we had titty-free Tuesdays at Taco.
Titty free Tuesday. What is
Yes.
that? What is that?
Oh,
Boom,
God.
taco.
That's exactly what it was.
oh, shit.
It's like Gasparilla
exactly
at
what it
Taco Bell.
We would go through every Tuesday, and if you flashed them, you got free tacos.
Jesus.
I guess it's not as bad as doing drugs and drinking and driving
I
and
agree.
stuff. But yeah, this generation, my son is turning 17 in 3 days, and he's...
Damn, really?
Yeah, my
Oh,
oldest.
wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was pregnant when
How
I
old's your
started in the
youngest?
industry. 7.
7?
Mm-hmm.
She has three.
3.
She's 3, yeah.
17, about to be 12, and 7.
Damn, man, 17.
Do they get along? I'm just curious.
Nope.
Yeah, because they're apart 5 years, right?
The oldest and the youngest sometimes get along. But no, they don't get along at all. The middle child is really into sports. He says he's going to be an MLB player. He's like, for sure, happening.
No shit.
That's
Yeah.
all.
Hey, don't kill his dream.
I'm not killing
Is
his
he
dream.
good?
He's very good, but I'm not killing his dream. But you better fucking get a college degree and get to work too, because if you don't become an MLB player,
Yeah.
you need a backup.
need
So part of everything I've learned about myself is I don't have a backup. I am my backup.
It's
know?
it's 100% all in or not at all.
Right.
But-
And
but
I don't want other, I guess it's been
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
but I don't want other people to I don't want him to have to do that.
One thing I can say is that when they all get older, they'll all be bestest friends. Right now, they're teenagers. They're still
Yeah.
exploring their emotions and all that stuff. But I feel like once they get all older, they'll all be best friends.
Are you sure
Yeah.
about that, though?
I mean, they might be. I don't know.
I mean, just you and I are.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really good friends with my brothers, but at the same time, we also fight really hard.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
You
way
know?
it is. I mean, we're all blood, and then it's just like.
But
It
it
ain't-
sucks if I go a few
Blood
days
ain't
without talking to them.
family.
Yeah, but
dog.
at least
Loyalty
you can,
is.
Yeah, but at least you can tell your blood, hey, this is what it is, and you know, eventually they'll forgive you.
That's true.
So
yeah, this is very true.
Maybe.
when we get back, we'll talk about a little bit about what made Brittany stand up where a lot of people just shut down when it came to the vaccine. So, welcome back to Happy Hour Holidaze, your go-to podcast for business, entrepreneurship, and life stories. So, going back to the vaccine, Brittany, and, you were probably one of the few that were actually, going out on social media and becoming an influencer on this besides other things. Why didn't you just stay silent like everybody else? What made you be like, hey, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to speak out, even though it could get me censored on Instagram or whatever
Which
it
it
is.
did.
It did get me censored, but I mean, listen, everything I've told you today, like my life story is a condensed version, right?
Yeah.
There's other things that have happened to me. My parent, like just my childhood wasn't the greatest. I went through sexual abuse when I was a child. There's a lot of things that I used to be really embarrassed to talk about that now are just part of who I am. And part of that, like having to survive mode is really, I believe, like who I am, why I am the way I am. And so when all this happened to me, at first, I just thought to myself, like, the thing that I've always thought, which is no one's going to believe me, or, because of all the trauma I've been through, the things that I've gone through, the hustling I've had to do, not just in a job, but just in life, to be believed, to be looked at differently, just parents' acceptance, that kind of thing. So at first it was like, I need to get help, but no one's going to believe me. So when I first started talking out, it was because, actually, I take that back. Let's back up a minute. Because when I first started talking out, it was funny. Remember, it was the magnet videos.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember that.
So when I wouldn't consider that talking out. I would consider that, like, I just thought it was fucking funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird, but I thought it was funny.
And it turned out being a serious condition.
It turned out being a serious condition. It was real. There were magnets sticking to me, forks, knives, toenail clippers, scissors to my head.
What was that called?
There's no, like, it's called ferromagnetism, but there's no diagnosis, like there's no reason why it happened other than the vaccine. They can't explain it. So the little nanoparticles that are within the vaccine, which is factual, it's not conspiracy, like it's factual, it's in the documents. They spread and they crossed my blood-brain barrier and they spread throughout every organ in my body. So it started out in my arm. I thought it was funny. I was filming it. And the more I did it, the more it spread. The more MRIs I did, the more x-rays I did, the more tests I did, the more radiation I went through, it spread throughout my body. So eventually, after 4 hospital stays, I literally had a pair of scissors sticking to my head.
Jesus.
I just took them in front of the doctor, set them up there, and they stuck. I have it all videotaped. So originally, it was funny.
Yeah. But it wasn't so funny.
It wasn't so funny after. When I had to call 911, I completely seized up. I was basically stroking out. My body went into, they never actually told me exactly what it was, but I had to call 911. They can't, like, I couldn't talk. I couldn't breathe. I had tears falling down my eyes. German Shepherd was, like, licking my face. I don't even know how I called 911 because I completely passed out. My body just went. By the time, they took me to a detox hospital thinking I was on drugs. So after that, I didn't know I was at a detox hospital. I learned that later on. It was, we all live here. Have you ever even heard of Webb Memorial?
No.
It's a heroin detox hospital. So they thought I was on drugs. When they realized I wasn't on drugs, they took me to another hospital. That's the first time I heard this is from the vaccine. Like, what else could it be from? It was a neurologist who said it. And that's when shit got really serious for me. So at that point, I'm sitting here texting Brock and I'm texting my family and I'm telling everybody, like, this is what they're saying. This is what's going on. What do I do? Brock was like, I think you drank too much champagne last night. I'm like, how the fuck does champagne make me seize up? I don't understand. My family's not believing it. No one's believing. So it wasn't that they weren't supportive. It was just, it's a really hard thing to believe.
It's almost disbelief. They're always like, is it really? Or,
yeah.
But...
Or that you just don't understand it. And natural human nature is if you don't understand something, you just don't believe it, or you don't like walk into it. You don't even want to know more if natural human nature. It's not my human nature, but I probably should get closer, huh? So.
Yeah, I was about to say something.
Leaning back. Yeah, I knew you were. I saw your face. But after that is when I started filming on Instagram. So I just kind of took my phone like this, and I was just like, well, fucking nobody else believes me, so I'm going to get the world to believe me. So I just started, like, filming myself like this. And I'm like, guys, I'm in the hospital again. This is what they're telling me. And it kind of became like a journaling thing for me. It wasn't necessarily that I wanted attention or that I just wanted somebody to believe me.
Yeah.
I wanted someone to tell me. I was like, maybe someone will see this and tell me what's wrong with me. At the time, I had all these conditions that I'm about to tell you, and nobody knew it. So I was sitting here fighting. 4 hospital stays later, I had built up to over 100,000 people following me at this time. It was like overnight. I was getting hate messages, people telling me to put a revolver to my head, people calling my job, people calling my husband, sending things to my house. Because you can Google anybody and get their address.
Yeah.
I mean, people are like, oh, you put your personal info out there. I'm like, dude, they can find you in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Property,
I don't, I don't know what world
appraisal.
you're living in, but I can Google your name and find out everything about you. And so that's how, like, that started. It wasn't, I think it was just a miracle in disguise, you know? And once all these people started following me and talking to me, then more people started telling me, thank God you're speaking out, because now I can speak out. Like, I feel like I can talk. This is happening to me, too. Hundreds of thousands of people, Manny. Like, hundreds of thousands. Like, no joke. At one point, I had to hire somebody to go through all my messages because I couldn't. Frontline doctors, if you've heard of them, like, hired an attorney to represent me in a mandate lawsuit. Like, it was just crazy. It was crazy what happened. So I'd say maybe 2-3 months after everything happened, I had essentially been diagnosed with Guillain-Barré, which we explained earlier, pericarditis, which is the sac around your heart is swollen. I have left atrial enlargement, 3 leaky valves. I've never had heart issues before. I had seizures. I have 6 lesions in my brain. I have 6 autoimmune diseases now, where I only had 1. I've had to have spine surgery. Now, granted, I was in a car accident and have shit wrong with my spine, but the inflammation has just, like, torn me apart. Jeez. So I haven't been able to heal. I, like I said, have gone from, like, 13 medications to absolutely none. I just do cannabis now. Red light therapy, infrared sauna, cold plunging.
Tried it all, right? Tried it all.
Hyperbaric chamber 6 weeks every day at $250 a pop.
Jeez.
Like, I've done it all. I've exchanged my blood. I've had NAD treatment. I mean, I flew to Mexico to get bioresonance. I've done every type of treatment you can think of. And during this process, I just continued to film. I just didn't stop. So I was like, well, I didn't look at it as, like, standing up for freedom. I looked at it as just journaling.
Yeah.
And I think, I hate to say that because I love to be like the hero and say, oh, I was kumbaya from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But I think from the very beginning, I was just standing up for myself.
Yeah.
And it was a very selfish thing in the beginning, and now it's become a lot more. Yeah. It's a lot more now.
And you said, what was it? Guillain-Barré?
Guillain-Barré.
Guillain-Barré. Weren't you in a group that banned you for speaking the truth?
Yeah, dude.
I saw that on Facebook. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
that makes
kicked me
no
out
sense.
just a couple weeks ago. I got kicked out of that group.
That's
it's
what I saw. Yeah.
Like 27,000 people in there with Guillain-Barré. It's a support group.
Exactly.
You go there to talk about support because I still have days where, like, my legs go bad, and Guillain-Barré is a lifelong thing. I can never get another inoculation ever. Like, not flu, not if it's mandated by the government, I will bury myself before I take another one. I'll end up dead. So
what was the reason they gave you that? They banned you from that group?
So there was like a post.
Because you posted it on Facebook.
Yeah.
I think I saw it.
I did. I was fucking pissed.
I read it. I was like, oh.
You know when I'm pissed. Because that's the other thing. I, like, call people out. I post their name. I post everything. But there was someone that posted something that, like, how did you get your Guillain-Barré? You know, when did you get it? And I was like, well, I got mine from Moderna. Like, I didn't say anything political. I didn't say anything, like,
you were just telling the
for
truth.
or against it. Yeah. I was just telling the truth. That it was 13 days after my second Moderna shot that I had to call 911. That I had Guillain-Barré and had to learn to walk again. I was in a wheelchair. I was peeing on myself.
Brock telling me that you had to learn how to walk again, which is crazy.
I did. And a lot of people don't realize that was 100% real. Like, I could not walk.
Damn.
I could not walk.
How was that experience learning how to walk again?
Really, really humbling and humiliating and painful. You know, I always say I have, like, a newfound respect for people who are paralyzed. Everybody thinks you can't feel anything. Fact is, you can feel everything. You just can't move. Yeah. And it's incredibly painful. The whole process was terrible. People don't believe you. They'll tell you to work harder. You know, they yell at you. The therapists weren't like that, but people who just don't. It's an invisible disease. Yeah. It looks visible when you can't walk, but it's really an invisible disease. So, you know, I don't know. Back to my long-winded answer to your question. I told you I could talk for hours on this shit. But you saying, like, what made me continue to stand up? Because I knew there were more people like me.
Yeah.
I knew there were more people being silenced. And, I mean, I've been deleted, like we said earlier, from Instagram, from Facebook. I've been banned from Linktree. I've done over 50 interviews. I'm on 11 billboards nationwide.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, neither did I.
My face is on 11 billboards.
What are the billboards about?
It has, like, they used the picture of when I was seizing, and they had the EMS or whatever it's called. I don't even know the medical term. EEG stuff on my head. And they use that, and it just says, the different billboards say different things, but one of them says, like, I have 6 autoimmune diseases after Moderna. Another one says,
so it's to build
they
awareness.
forced me to get it. It's to build awareness, and it leads them to, like, it's not an anti-vax. You know, everybody who hears this story and they're like, oh, she's anti-vax. Dude, I'm fucking double vaccinated. What are you talking about? Yeah. It's more of like an awareness of vaccine injury website that it takes them to. So those are still up. I mean, I've done so much stuff to build awareness for it that, like I said, like overnight, it just turned me into a social media influencer without really trying.
And this got to be probably a stupid question.
Yeah.
But...
I say yeah, like I know.
Yeah, it is.
It probably is. Fuck, I forgot the question now.
Well, anyways, I remember the question because I was like,
it's got to be.
It's lost on me.
Well, what I was going to ask you, Brittany, it had to. Affect...
do you regret getting the vaccine then? Which is definitely a stupid question, right?
It's not a stupid question.
Because you had to get it for your job.
I regret getting the vaccine. I wouldn't change what has happened to me.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Because what has happened to you has built who you are, your character. You've had you've had a character building last 3 years.
Yeah, I think I've had that my whole life, but I think it's been a different character the last 3 years. Yeah. I think that it's taken what, I'm a Christian, so I say this, sorry. Yeah. But, like, God has given me, like, all the way I look at it, all the things that I've been through and all the hurdles that I've gone through, like burning down house, sexually molested at 13, like that kind of shit doesn't happen to just everybody. The stuff I've been through, the divorce, the abusive relationship, the getting pregnant at 20, military, all of those things I feel have built me, right? But we talked about comfortability and complacency, and I was there. And this has now changed me to where I'm convinced I'm going to start my own business and become a multimillionaire on my own. And I probably would have never done that. I probably would have gone to 60 years old working in PEO.
No shit.
And I'm still in PEO now. I'm not saying I'm quitting tomorrow, so if you're my boss. But I'm saying, like, everyone's goal should be something bigger for themselves. So I don't regret what's happened to me because it's opened my eyes, not only medically. So I'm on a holistic path now. I heal differently. I treat my kids differently. Even Brock, like, he's on blood pressure medication, my husband. And I'm like, dude, why are you taking that? And I'm trying to get him off of it. And
why
I'm
is he taking that?
Because of his job. He's a cop. They
stressful.
They basically send you to the infirmary and tell you have to take this or you can't work. Like, your blood pressure, you have to do your PT tests and stuff. So, but I'm getting him off of it. Don't worry.
So how did it? We talked about it off camera, but how did it affect your business? Like, with everything going on in these last 3 years.
Like my PEO business?
Yeah, just from everything going on with the vaccine and all that stuff, how did it affect your business in a negative way?
Well, I mean, essentially, it obviously affected financially.
Yeah.
I had mentioned I'd already been in a car accident in 2020, and that alone had me, recovering, so I had lost some income from that point. And so that year leading up to my vaccine injury, I was kind of building that back. So all the 15 plus years that I had been working, I was like, this was my big thing that I needed to come back from. So when I got injured by the vaccine, I was like double fucked. So it really, really hurt us. He put us on a stay-at-home order, and he said that if we didn't get it, we couldn't go back to work. So when I'm working with a salary plus commission, and I'm used to making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and I can't get new commission now. Clients are leaving. They're shutting their doors. The pandemic is affecting all the business owners. That really affected my income.
Yeah.
So on top of that, I just don't know that I believe in the way that, the health world is anymore.
Fuck
Health
no.
insurance.
I've never had.
I believe it's a scam.
Oh
It
yeah,
is.
no,
It's a
It
scam.
is. Big
Yeah.
Pharma literally
Yeah.
gets people medicated so they can make a shit ton of money. Bro, what were the biggest businesses that profited the most during coronavirus?
the pharmaceutical ones.
Fauci.
Fauci probably,
Yeah.
and
Fauci.
Pfizer, and Moderna.
Bill Gates, bitch ass.
Yeah, Bill Gates too, because he funded gain of function research.
Yep. And I mean, the thing is, I forgot what I was going to say.
Staying at home, losing clients. You were mandated by the company.
It was something off of what you said, so it's fine. It'll come back to me.
Yeah. But
Hey, wait.
oh okay.
Oh, we were going on with the business though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it affected me in a sense that I still enjoy working for business owners. You know, earlier in this conversation, we were talking about why I love the job so much. I love helping people. I love helping employees. But when you see people just crying over their paycheck because they can't afford to take $1,500 a month out for their family and their wife is pregnant or maybe they had, you know, a heart attack or whatever it is, like, and they need the insurance, but they can't afford it, and it's that or groceries, it fucks with your head.
Yeah.
And it didn't used to be like that. It was always expensive for the middle class. I get it, but it was never enough that you couldn't put groceries on your table. And now it is. And for me to see the way that the healthcare industry treated me during this, it's changed everything about how I feel about it, I guess.
And
you
how
could say.
doctors treated you.
Oh, the doctors were the worst.
Yeah.
The nurses were kind of like little protective robots that wanted to protect me, but they couldn't. You know, I can't even tell you how many times I heard, I'm putting this on your record so I don't get sued.
What the fuck?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had any kind of. I mean, I think they bill the insurance companies way too much. But when we get back, we'll kind of talk about how you make money off social media influencing. You know, it is another little business that is great. And
The light at the end of the tunnel.
the light at the end of the tunnel. We'll come back with the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. All right, and we're back with Happy Hour Holidays, and I think we left off with Brittany. You know, when it comes to social media influencing, I mean, I know that you were just kind of journaling. You weren't like really looking to do something like that, but it ended up, you know, working out in as far as business, where you're actually making money. How does that all work when it comes to that social media influencing?
Yeah, so I've always looked at people that were influencers. Like, I knew they were making money, right?
Yeah.
You know that celebrities are making money. You know when they post products that they're making money. But I always looked at it as a business. And it is a business, don't get me wrong. But I think the way I came into it so naturally that I was just doing all of these things. I was going through this process, trying to heal, trying to get through everything. I was sharing products that I was using. I was sharing, you know, I still do. I share things that work. I talk about things that don't. I talk about companies I don't like. Not to bash them or anything. I just kind of talk about my experience. And
She was talking about our company. Jesus, I knew it.
It's almost like a review, right? You do like
It's
almost like a review.
like
of
a review, but I also show people how to do things. So you have to think about it. When you look at social media and you look at these influencers, it's always picture perfect, right?
Yeah.
They always look perfect. Their hair's done. Their makeup's done. Even if they're like, let's just say the people who put on makeup, they start like fresh with no makeup, but through it, the process is perfect. And then you have like a filtrated picture at the end and everything is just so picture perfect. Not everybody can get to that. The average human being, the average person watching social media doesn't know how to do anything. They don't know, like, parasite cleanse. I'll just give this as an example because it's kind of a dirty one, but I just recently did this and I was talking about it. All the influencers who talk about parasite cleanse just give all the facts. They talk all about it. The picture is perfect, but they don't actually talk about being a newbie. Yeah. What are the acronyms? What are the stupid questions? Going back to the beginning of this where you thought you had a stupid question. What are those stupid questions? I just go out there and fucking ask them and talk about them. And I'm just a real life human being. And I come off very genuine because I don't have money. I didn't have money in the background. Yeah. How that evolved was because I became that person. I started getting more and more followers, and I started getting more people who not just following, but that actually wanted to buy the products too. So I started thinking, okay, I got to be smart about this. If I'm going to advertise for everybody, why wouldn't I get paid? Yeah. So I started contacting the companies that I liked, that I was using
How
already.
are you contacting them, by the way?
I just either
emailed them or
call them or email them. And I give my social media name and I tell them, which is kind of hard because I'm vaccine injured. So you never know if you're like going to email somebody who's against like anti-vaxxers. And that's what I'm labeled now. So you never really know if they're going to be on your side, like want you to work for them. But I just kind of would email them and message them and say, look, like I'm already talking about your product. Do you have an affiliate program? So there's different ways you can influence. There's different ways you can get paid. I just like the affiliate programs. That's where I share a code. I share a link and I share a code. If somebody buys it and they use my code, I get paid. The other side of influencing is people will say, buy my bottle of wine. It's so pretty. It's dark on the outside, but it's gold on the inside. Try it today for $17.99.
That was perfect.
And they get paid. They get paid $2,000 for doing it.
Holy shit!
But they never get paid again.
But
it's
that's
a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's like oh, we the people.
That was perfect.
She's been thinking about that.
No, I haven't been thinking about it, but it's like one of the things that I always talk about. I kind of make fun of people who do it, which is bad. I shouldn't make fun of people. But I just, I think that something about being genuine and just getting paid when people actually try it and partnering with companies that you truly believe in is what makes the difference. And I've made a lot of money doing it. I didn't know that there was this much money in social media.
What would you say is the amount of followers you would need in order to join one of these affiliate programs?
I genuinely think
Asking for us.
Here's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, are there MLM things out there? Are there this? Are there that? There's nothing wrong with MLMs if you're just sharing a code. If you're trying to build a team, it's a whole different story.
Well, that's not really MLM then.
They still get
If you
labeled
share a
that,
code,
though.
if you share a code.
It's affiliate is what they call it. I truly believe to share codes, you really need at least like 5,000, 10,000 followers. 5,000 is fine. I have people on my team because I do team building as well. I've got 250 people that I lead underneath me. So I just teach them like how to use social media and how to make money off of it. The ones that are not successful, I mean, I've got one that's 107,000. I'm thinking of her. She's up in Canada. 107,000 followers.
Doesn't make no money.
Doesn't make any money at all.
And they're all organic too?
I don't know.
Yeah,
they probably aren't.
My people are organic.
Yeah,
so my people buying mine and using my code are people that have followed my journey, who care about the journey, who care about feeling better without medication. Like they are people who genuinely are invested in their health. So I think that niche, as long as you have that niche, if they're invested in your story, they're going to be invested in theirs. Storytelling.
So let's say that you have 5,000 to 10,000 followers. Let's say you have 10,000. I feel like 10,000.
And they're organic?
And they're
You're
all
gonna do
organic.
awesome.
No, but then what's the process that you have to go through? You reach out to these companies.
Yep.
You ask them, hey, do you have an affiliate program? Do most of them have an affiliate program?
Most of them do. And if they don't and they see you've got 5,000 or 10,000 followers, they probably would create a code for you anyway.
Anyways, yeah.
Anyway.
And then you structure that. You sign a contract, e-doc, or...
If it's a newer company, they probably don't have contracts.
No. So how can you guarantee that you get paid? I guess is the question. You don't. You don't. But you're not paying them.
I will tell you, I've never had a
right?
company not pay me.
Yeah.
A lot of them pay me on PayPal or Zelle. I just got paid this morning from one. I shared one time about something and it was $1,000. I just got a payment this morning.
No shit.
It came in on my PayPal. I didn't even know what it was from. I looked. I said PayPal, you have $1,000, like $1,006. I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. That's from the one time I posted, but it's something I genuinely use. So my rule of thumb is, don't just go try to be an influencer and try to be this like special person. Find something you're truly invested in, something you'll truly use. If you're an athlete, find CBD oils, find red light therapy, find cold therapy, find things that you can genuinely adapt, like show that you use in your own life. Because you're not going to be successful with the freaking bottle of wine commercial. That is not going to be successful.
That was pretty good, though.
You're not, but that's when you're not going to make money.
Yeah,
But,
you gotta
but
be passionate. You have to have a purpose. You don't just do it just because. Well, you think a lot of these celebrities, they literally put everything on their profile, but they're not really like passionate about it. They're just like, oh, quick dollar.
They're not passionate about any of it.
Yeah, they're just like.
I mean,
then
half
I'm
of them don't even
thinking-
use the product.
No, they don't.
I'm thinking about like just our show, I'm trying to get free consultation here.
Well,
we
having-
just started. We're just recent. So it's, to your point, it's things you use. So
Right.
I'm thinking to myself, like, what could we advertise, or what can we,
Camera companies.
No, not
Accessories.
Not for Brave
I know
Framework.
it's not for Brave,
Talking
but you
about
have
Happy Hour
Febreze.
Holidaze.
But you have Febreze. So
Yeah.
that's something I would Like, and what you do is they're your sponsors. So every podcast, like I said, I've done over 50. Every podcast I do, most of the time they'll say some kind of like, I don't know if you guys do it at the end, where you talk about like your sponsors.
No, we don't have any.
Oh, well.
Well, I mean,
we're that early.
I guess Fabre Frameworks is our only sponsor.
Yeah.
Well, you got to get yourself some sponsors.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have enough of a following yet.
That doesn't matter. Hustle.
Yeah.
Well,
Tell them the following you're gonna have.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Eventually, we'll have enough followers.
But you don't have to wait till you get there.
No. Oh shit.
No. You just give them a paragraph of where you're at. I mean, the fact that your business owner is alone already, and this is something you're doing on the side.
But that's separate, though.
It doesn't matter when you're talking to the people who you want to sponsor you. You're showing your framework. No pun intended. Like you're showing you already have it in you. Yeah. That this is your next project and you want them to sponsor you. And by sponsoring you, every podcast at the beginning, middle, and end, you're going to give them a 60-second plug.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, we have the walls here, too.
Boom. Hang a fucking... Instead of that Monopoly guy, it could be somebody's company.
I could literally sign you up as an affiliate at Nuvita. I could sign you up as an affiliate. You would have no cost in it, nothing at all. And every podcast, all you would have to do is say, sponsored by da-da-da-da-da. And you go into it and you give a 30-second plug of it. You share your code. And when people buy it, you make money. Well, like that, you can do that with a lot of different companies.
They don't charge you to be affiliates, right? Because if they're selling, it doesn't cost them any money to make a code.
Some companies have like, oh, you have to pay a 1 year, whatever. But that's not normal to have to do that. Some do, some don't. I don't really care if they make me pay $100.
What do you think about my brother's idea? Selling wall space. So, like, in this camera, you have that picture. In this camera, you have those pictures. In my camera, you have these pictures. I think wall space
is great.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially with AI out there being, like, a huge thing. People take a picture, and they reverse Google search, and if they Google search... Let's just say, I'm just using CBD because it's there. Let's just say you had Nuvita CBD and they Google search Nuvita CBD. Your podcast could come up because it's in the picture.
Exactly. Damn,
so selling wall space is a good thing.
You know what? I don't care what Manny says about you.
My brain is too big for my head.
That's true. You got such a good
Damn,
idea.
that is, bro, that's smart.
You totally could sell wall space.
Yeah. Could, right?
Yeah, you should. Not just could.
Should. But then it's like, I'll
tell you what, when I start my business, I will buy some wall space.
No, boom. And then that's another thing. Do we just sell it for the month? We sell it for the year?
No, it's like
or per episode.
Per podcast subscription.
Because it's once a week.
Or, remember what I was telling you earlier about the Nuvita stuff? Like, or wasn't Nuvita? It was something I was talking about. You can pay the influencing. Yeah, you can pay per commercial, or you can pay per code. So think about it that way. They can pay per episode, or they can do like a monthly subscription. Gyms make a lot of money because people are subscribed.
And then don't actually go.
And don't actually show up.
Yeah.
So you may have somebody not making a ton of effort, but if they're on your wall.
You got any more tips and tricks on social influencing?
I mean, my biggest
because we're learning as you're speaking.
Well, actually, I was thinking, how come Brittany hasn't started her own podcast? Because I think
everybody asks me
I know, because I think, I mean, you have the voice for it. Yeah,
I want to really bad, but I don't have the setup, dude. I don't have this. I don't have a room.
Check this out. We're thinking about converting the office right across.
Really?
Into a rentable podcast.
Because I've been talking to Brock about it. I'm like, so many people ask me. I bought BrittGalvin.com.
You said you wanted to do one, didn't you?
Yeah. I've been saying it.
Yeah, because you came over here to record, but I forget what you came.
I recorded like some little commercials for you, or not for you, but you. Yeah. I hired you to do it for me. Yeah. Those were great. That was when I was with Engage, though. I left them.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean that you can't still do it.
Yeah, so I bought BrittGalvin.com, and my whole like theory was just to kind of like my niche is vaccine injured. That's not the only thing, but turning trauma into triumph. So like I was saying earlier, the vaccine kind of brought all this out in me, and what happened to me brought it out. But now I'm kind of facing all the adversity I've been through. And through that, I feel like I relate to the normal population. Yeah. And a lot of people just don't know how to go through it. Instead, they're just taking a freaking Xanax and going to sleep for the night.
Why, you got one?
No. I'm out of Adderall, too. But I got cannabis.
One thing I
have
don't
extra
do.
strength gummies in the car. So that's where I'm at now. I don't know what the question was.
I'm
almost a puddle tea.
No, it was mostly about the social media, influencing.
Yeah.
Okay. So my biggest thing is just be yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people try really hard. I signed people up under me on the Nuvita to sell, and these people have the sweetest hearts. And not just Nuvita. I mean, I influence for probably 20 companies now.
Yeah.
And they'll come on and they'll just try. They try the commercial route. They try just putting facts up. People don't like reading. They like hearing. They want to hear the voice. They connect to you. People who listen to your podcast are going to continue to listen because they like you. So continue to show up. Even if you don't feel well, show them that you don't feel well. I come on my good days and I come on my bad days. And sometimes, my husband, my family will be like, did you really just say that on social media? I'm like, I don't give a fuck because it's real.
Yeah.
Boom.
And people connect to the reality of you. They don't connect to fake stories.
Yeah, they want somebody authentic.
Genuine.
Exactly. And
Genuine,
if you stay authentic and genuine, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, you will grow and you will make money and you'll make a name for yourself.
Because a lot of people, what I've seen is just they act.
Yeah.
They're not actually themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And, some videos might go viral, but then nobody wants to follow you anyways.
And if they do, it's not really organic.
It's not right.
It's like people who just followed you because of
that one video.
that one thing. That's truly why I don't like posting
unfollow
things
people.
just about my vaccine, because I don't want a bunch of anti-vaxxers on my page.
Yeah.
Not that I am an anti-vaxxer now. Let's be clear.
You want Brittany. You want Brittany Galvin
took it.
followers.
I want
That's
people
what you
who
want.
follow me. You're
Yeah.
right. Britt Galvin, like me, not my vaccine experience.
Yeah.
That's something I went through. Maybe you found me because of that, but you follow me because you love me.
And if you look at your social media analytics on Instagram, it shows you your unfollows.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll see a couple times you might post one video, boom, unfollow. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, Instagram, that's tricky, though, because people like me who are above what they call above the target. So that's if you're posting too much, like political or too much about things they don't want, Instagram punishes you. So Instagram deletes people off my page every day.
You mean they don't unfollow? They just get, boom, gone.
Yep, and they'll message me. It's thousands of people.
Are you
And they'll be
fucking
like, I did
kidding
not
me?
unfollow you. This is the third time. Do you keep removing me? I'm like, I don't remove anybody.
Zuckerberg, what are you doing,
Yeah.
bro?
What about TikTok, Britt? Have you done TikTok?
Hey, we got 2 minutes.
TikTok
over here.
was really mean to me. Like TikTok is great, but TikTok was hard. That's a place that I might explore. From what I've heard from all my other influencing friends, it's a big money maker. But because I am Moderna injured, people are really mean to me on there.
I can tell you this.
It's hard
We
for me.
post on all social media platforms. There's 2 platforms that are incredibly difficult to get followers: TikTok and Twitter.
Yeah. People love me on Twitter, but TikTok is oof.
Those 2 are just hard.
I
for
had
us.
a really big TikTok account and they deleted it. I think I got banned like 2 or 3 times on TikTok.
Well, TikTok is China.
So I have a new name now. I think it's Brittany Galvin 9599 or some crap like that. Like they just,
you know for
like I don't even know, and I don't even like log on. I don't even try.
Well, Britt, to put the final words, do you have anything to tell the audience? It could be about life.
I got to tell you, we got to go to break, and then wrap it up after that.
Okay.
All right, go on the break, wrapping it up after that.
So we're back to Happy Hour Holidays, and we wanted Brittany to kind of tell our audience
To like, comment, subscribe.
like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah,
but we wanted to
like,
kind of give
comment, subscribe.
it's almost like a little pitch of wisdom at the end of the show to the audience, or anything she kind of wants to tell the audience.
We call it our final words.
Manny says last word.
Last word.
Yeah, but that means you're dying, you know? It's like
I tell everybody if you can't drink tequila, don't come to my funeral. So I don't
boom,
know.
and there's the last final words right there. No, I'm just kidding.
So what do you think, Britt, to tell the audience, man?
It could be the social media influencers.
No, just like, what do you tell them?
Anybody.
I mean, like you said, you had a little bit of a rough upbringing, but you fought through it, and a lot of people might have given up, but you fought through it, and you made yourself a successful woman, and you still have. You're not comfortable. You're like not comfortable where and this is not only as a person, but financially, you want to keep evolving. And a lot of people, you know, they get to a certain point and then that's it. They're done. And you're not done. You're just like, how can I make more money? How can I better myself?
I'm just getting started.
Yeah, exactly. You're just getting started.
Yeah.
So how do you tell people in the audience, like, how do you keep that motivation every single day to go through everything you've been, but never give up on all your dreams? And like you said a little bit ago, you're like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to own a business and I'll be a multimillionaire. Mm-hmm. And you're going to get it done because I know how you are.
Yeah.
So what do you tell people?
I just think that it's more than comfortability. It's growth, right?
Yeah.
I think we all should want to grow at every point in our lives. If you don't want to grow more and to change into a better person each day, then, you know, what are you even living for? There's a difference between somebody who's reached their goals and they already are a multimillionaire, a billionaire, and they're sitting there and they're like, oh, I'm so comfortable, I'm so good, my business is running itself, and, you know, all this. Even then, though, at the end of the day, they sit down with their glass of wine on their couch and they're like, what's next? They think it, but they don't do it, you know, sometimes. And I think that at the end of the day, it's just about growth. It's just about being yourself, and it's about wondering, like, is this good enough for me? It's, am I the person I want to be? If you are the person you want to be, continue to build that. You're still going to hustle, but continue to build it and keep, like, going. But I think that it's okay to not be okay with where you're at. Yes. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. They're like, well, you know, I'm making $500,000 a year, but I'm so unhappy in my marriage or this or that or whatever it is. It's okay to not be okay. That's like the sign that you need growth. And, you know, you just hit it when you just said, like, I'm not comfortable. I'm not. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, she's doing so good for herself. She, you know, keep doing what you're doing. No, I'm not going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to get better. I'm going to grow from it. I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to get better. Because for me, it's not that I'm not, you know, gosh, how do I say this? A lot of people might say, when is enough, right? Well, I'm not feeling like I'm the best version of myself yet. When I feel like I'm the best version of myself, enough will be enough. So, I mean, I don't know if that even really matters or if it makes sense, but I just...
No, it means that enough is never going to be enough. Because people that are truly aspiring, really enough, there is no limit. The sky's the limit, right? But that's bullshit because you have space.
You have space to grow.
No, when I said space, outer space.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I mean. I'm saying the same thing as you. I mean,
and most people that are ambitious, enough is never enough. And most people, they can't comprehend that.
It's not that it's not good enough.
Exactly.
It's that
you want more.
You want more growth. You want more. You want to be better. You want to leave a legacy. You know, I look at my 3 children who are almost 17, 12, and 7. She just turned 7. And I'm like, I don't want to leave just money to them. I want to leave that ambition to them. I want to leave those character traits to them. I want them to know that if they fail at something, they can get better. I want them to know that being paralyzed literally doesn't ruin your life. You know, like, going through divorce doesn't ruin your life. Being sexually molested doesn't ruin your life. You know, failing at the military doesn't ruin your life. You don't have to turn to drugs. I mean, I know I'm going deep on this, but there's so many people from so many different aspects of life, and a lot of people do give up. Yeah. A lot of people do think, well, I've made it this far, or I haven't made it this far. What is in it for me? Well, you can grow and you can change, and in the span of 24 hours, your life can change.
Yes. And it's not about not being grateful for what you have, because a lot of people take it into that. They're like, oh my God, this person's so successful. And it's not I'm not humble or I'm not grateful for what I have, but I want more. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I want to be better.
Nothing, yeah.
I want to be better.
Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you have a picture of yourself. And that picture of yourself, every 5 years, you should be like, well, I need to be there.
And
I need to be there.
You should never be the smartest person in the room.
Absolutely.
Ever. Like, I hate being the smartest person in the room. When I'm learning from other people.
God, she hates us.
No, you guys are smarter than me. Come on, I love this. I'm learning from you. Like, I'm going to start my own podcast now. What else can I do?
I think that would be good, honestly. I mean, I look at it, Britt.
You can make money through that avenue.
I mean, this is a whole new avenue. You're such a good social media influencer. Now, the next big thing that I've been seeing evolve is podcast. Yeah. Right. And I think that'd be another big step, you know, for you.
That would be just another avenue of revenue.
And the genuine side of podcasts, like, it's just like an hour, whatever you do.
Yeah.
It's just genuine conversation.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
You know, and I think that there needs to be more of that. more of that and less of Hollywood movies. Like more of reality of what people are actually going through, what they've been through, how people can connect. I mean, the connections between people over the last 3 years have fallen so much.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess my last words, my final words would just really be like, stay true to yourself, and it's okay if you're not okay. Like, it's okay to say this isn't good enough. It doesn't mean that you're not appreciative for what you have. It doesn't mean that you're seeking the next big thing, because nothing's ever good enough. Those are two separate things. If you want to evolve and you want to grow, like, I think it's totally okay to want more for yourself and for what you leave behind.
Amen. That's all I got to say. That's as well said as you can.
Yeah.
And we want to thank, Happy Hour Holidaze wants to thank Brittany Galvin for taking a little piece of time out of her busy day to come by.
Shout out to Brock, who couldn't be here.
Brock.
I know. I've said Brock 500 times in this thing. Where's my plug? I want money.
We do have the Miller Lite for you, Brock, next time you come in the refrigerator. So we didn't forget about you, and we will have ice next time. But we really appreciate everybody who's listening out there. Please comment, subscribe, and like our page.
Follow.
Follow, like, subscribe. We'll have this one on in 2 weeks, and we're really excited to release it. It's going to be a great one.
They don't know when it's going to be on.
Oh, I love what you guys are doing, though.
In 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. This one's going to be really good. So we're super excited. Thank you so much.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
And then, how do you say it?
Nuvita.
Novita. Nuvita.
Yeah, you want to try some USDA certified organics CBD?
Go ahead. Let's see him do one. Let's see him do one.
Yeah, take one.
Come on, take one, bro.
The white one or the orange one is for the daytime. Never take the black in the day.
You said it was only 3%, right?
Well, it's 0.3%.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get high. Well, maybe
of
you
THC.
might.
No, you won't get high. You'll get relief though. You'll feel euphoria.
Can I put it in my drink?
The one you're taking.
Whoa,
take it
put
under
it in your
tongue.
drink.
The one you're taking is called CBG. It's the Rolls Royce of all cannabinoids. So there's actually over 100 different cannabinoids in the cannabis
Fuck it,
plant.
let me try one. Is it
Yeah.
good?
So it's going to give you focus, energy. It's for gut and brain health. They're never really a one-time
You
thing,
said
though.
only 0.3, right?
Yes.
Because I don't smoke.
No, a lot of people. That's like the biggest misconception when it comes to CBD.
It's that good.
Wait, how do I do it?
Huh? You just open it, you fucking dummy.
So you rip it and then is it a gel?
Yeah, you just pour it underneath your tongue. So,
Underneath your tongue?
No, or swallow it. Either one.
I like the taste of it.
I do too.
Tastes like coffee.
Did you get it all out? It didn't look like you did. Oh, you did. Okay.
So
Damn.
the white one.
It does taste like
It's
weed.
CBG.
So the white one is, what is that good for? Like if you're gonna,
Focus, energy.
Is that the one I just
gut.
took?
Yep.
okay, and then
Gut and brain.
okay, and then the
You want to take another one?
and then the black one.
No, don't take another one. You will be high.
Black
The
one.
black one is for nighttime. So
Nighttime.
that's for massive pain. It's the strongest anti-inflammatory in the line, and it's for sleep.
Sleep. Okay.
It'll put you to sleep.
And then
I'm not going to get high.
and then the
No.
peach one.
Are you sure?
The peach one is for all over, like all over pain, anxiety, stress, panic attacks, seizures, tics, Tourette's, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. So there you guys go.
Yeah.
We have them all here. Pick them up.
We can keep that, right?
Yeah, it's for
Yeah.
you.
Contact Brittany Galvin or Brock Galvin about the.
Or I'll just get you your own account,
Yeah.
and they can use your code,
And then we can make some money.
Well, what's your code? What's your code?
Britt G, BRIT with a G.
Not two T's, just
Not
one T.
two. I had to change my name when I went public.
Did you really?
I did. That's why I went
Like
by.
legally?
No, I didn't change it legally, but because when I was still working,
Because you're
for
Brittany with two T's.
I am, but when
Yeah.
I went public with my vaccine injury, I was still working for the company, and my face was on all these billboards, and I was like freaking out that the company was going to find out. They obviously already knew, but I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm
So
high
I
now.
changed it to Britt. No, you're not high.
I am gonna try the black one for sleep.
Well, you ain't keeping them all, dog.
It helps for pain. I'll give you more.
It does taste like weed, though.
Because it is weed.
I like the taste
Well,
of it.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
cannabis. It's just not THC. It has less than 0.3%.
My wife, she gets gummies from California, and anytime I take one, I fall asleep.
Yeah, I have gummies too, but they won't make you high. But the ones in my car, I did want to give you a sample when we go out there.
And they're
Or
from
when I go out
Nuvita
there.
as well.
They are, but they're extra strength. So they're still
Oof.
federally
I can't
legal.
do that. I can't do that.
I'm in.
I might have to just like put a pillow and a fucking blanket on that couch so I can fall asleep.
I'm gonna try the black ones because
it'll help you sleep.
yeah,
That's
what I
my
was thinking.
biggest
I was
problem.
like, man, I need something to make me fall asleep because sometimes
Brock and I take them every night. The kids take them too. They're safe for kids.
dude, the biggest thing is my head keeps
If you're a cannabis
spinning.
lover. Right now?
No, I'm saying like no, not spinning. Like what I mean is like my brain is always running, so it's hard for me
Well,
to
we
calm
took the
down to go
focus
to
one.
sleep. No, I know. Right now the focus one, but I'm just thinking like me generally when I put my head down on my pillow, I'm like, yeah,
It doesn't shut off.
it doesn't shut off. My mind is still like, oh, you,
You know
got
what works for that?
this.
New Vita.
Yeah,
Take
for
it
sure.
down.
New Vita. All right, well, yeah, we gotta wrap it up. Huh?
Yeah.
We're having too
Oh, I
much
thought we
fun
did
over
wrap it
here.
up.
We did wrap it up.
No, we're still recording.
Oh, we are?
Yeah,
Damn,
yeah.
dog, that went almost a full session.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Happy Hour Holidaze with Britt Galvin. She has a ton of followers. Check her out. She has some really good products.
That's not your camera, Manny.
This is my camera.
Yeah, yours is this
I
one.
haven't looked at it once.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Yeah.
Like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. And we love our audience.
Hey.